Welcome back, everybody. Today I'm going to be making homemade, from scratch, donuts. Here recently we are self-quarantined at home, but that doesn't mean we can't get our fix of donuts. So this is what I'm making today for my family. To start, I am going to basically activate my yeast. Here I have a 1/4 teaspoon of sugar. I'm going to add that to my warm evaporated milk. You could use whole milk. I don't have any whole milk, so I'm using canned milk. And here I have 1 1/4 teaspoon of active yeast. This is dry active yeast. Honestly, the bag that I found in my refrigerator said it expired December 31st of 2019. So this may or may not work. So I'm just going to give this just a little mix here and hope for the best. Let's hope this blooms and activates. I'm going to let it sit here for about 10 minutes. Okay, so this is around 7 minutes, and I can see it starting to bubble and foam at the top, which indicates that I do have active yeast. So now I'm ready to put this dough together. Here I have 1 2/3 cup of all-purpose flour. And here is my secret to a chewy soft dough. Actually, just kidding. It's not a secret. For those of you that are familiar with Shipley's Donuts, I grew up on those. So on the box, one of their ingredients is potato flour. So that's what I'm adding to my flour mixture. This is a 1/3 cup of potato flour going right in. Now, for those of you that are not familiar with Shipley's Donuts, I don't know if it's just a Texas thing, a Houston thing, but that's the donut place we would always go to get donuts and kolaches. Okay, so now I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of sugar and a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. I'm using a fine sea salt. Use what you have. Now I'm going to just give that a mix. Okay, today I'm going to use my stand mixer. Yes, you guys, I have a stand mixer. For those of you that follow me know I always like to knead by hand, but today this dough is going to be really sticky and tacky, so I kind of want to save myself the extra work and just go for the stand mixer. But you can definitely knead by hand and mix this in a bowl. So I am going to add 1 large egg. This is a room temperature large egg. A 1.5 tablespoons of oil, cooking oil. My yeast milk mixture. I'm just going to give that a mix. Okay, now that is mixed, I'm going to add, carefully, I'm going to add my flour mixture little by little until it's all in the bowl. And I'm actually going to add it first, start mixing, then keep adding it. I'm actually going to scrape down the bowl. Just scrape the flour from the sides of the bowl, maybe 1 or 2 times during the mixing process. And once my dough ball forms, I'm going to crank up the mixing setting to about 6, and I'm going to let it knead on with the dough hook for about 5 to 6 minutes. Okay, so my dough is where I want it to be. It's still sticky and tacky, but it's come together and it's somewhat smooth. So now I'm going to put this back into my bowl. I'm going to put this in a non-drafty spot in my kitchen. Typically that would be an oven, or I'm actually going to put mine in the microwave. And again, I'm going to let this rest for at least an hour, maybe well over an hour, until it doubles in size. Okay, so my dough has definitely doubled in size, and it smells so good. And you definitely can double the size of this recipe to make more donuts, but I'm only making it for my 2 sons and my husband today, so I'll see how many I can get out of this recipe. My husband resourcefully cut the top of a plastic bottle, and I'm going to cut the donut with this side and then remove the hole with this side. So just like that. I'm going to place them on a baking sheet lined with parchment paper and let them rest for about 30 to 40 minutes. For the glaze that I'm using today, I have 1.5 cups of confectioner's sugar or powdered sugar, and I'm just running it through a fine wire mesh to remove any lumps. This makes it a lot easier to combine and mix. It gives you a smoother glaze. Now I'm going to add a 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla extract, and I started with about a tablespoon of evaporated milk. You could use whole milk. If you don't have milk, you could probably get away with using water. I'm going to add another teaspoon at a time. I'll do 2 more teaspoons here. This is about a teaspoon. And depending how thin or thick you want your glaze, that will determine how much liquid you use in your powdered sugar. And I might need to make more glaze, but I don't want to overuse my confectioner's sugar, so I'd rather just have to make more later. This might be enough to coat all of my donuts and donut holes. We shall see. So my donuts have definitely doubled in size. So I'm going to get ready to fry these up. My oil is preheating right now. Okay, so my fry oil, I have it on the lowest setting on my stove. I realize the lower I have it, the more evenly they cook, and it really gives you that light golden brown color. The first ones I'll show you, those were a little bit darker because I think my fry oil was too hot. So it's something you're going to have to watch for. And it's going to take less than a minute to cook these, by the way. But again, there are so many variables in one's kitchen that could change the outcome of whatever it is you're cooking. But I think a good fry temperature would be maybe 325 to 330. But you see, it's definitely puffing up. It's frying, but it's not getting too dark. And that's pretty much that donut shop color that you're looking for. Now you're going to take your warm donut and just coat it with the glaze. So I wanted to show you that the glaze was the perfect amount to cover all the donuts. So here is one of the donuts that I sort of cooked longer in a hotter temperature, but once I adjusted the temperature lower and cooked it for a shorter amount of time, this is what I ended up with. These look perfect. You see how soft these donuts are. I hope you give this recipe a try. I hope you like it, and thanks for watching.